Hi, I'm Sheila L. Haidt, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week's astrology. And this week does definitely not play. This week is showing up with a once-in-a-lifetime experience planet-wise. So last week I spoke about something called Barbault's basket. Barbault's basket is a rare astrological configuration that peaks right around now, these few days. It involves an alignment of the outer planets Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. And we have 5 personal planets, or inner planets, and 5 outer or transpersonal planets. And 4 of those 5 are involved in this major energy shift. So this is a huge trigger point for collective souls as we experience personal, cultural, global, and soul shifts. Very important. So I will, now that I've told you that, it's kind of a recap of last week. Let's start with the quote for this week. Actually, it's a quote for these times. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do. It's very Uranian and Plutonian and Jupiterian. So we talked about, as I said, Barbault's basket. Sometimes it's called a cradle. It's comprised of, or not compromised, but it's comprised of Jupiter, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. It activates the fire and water elements, because all of those 4 planets are in signs that are either air or water. So there will be a lot of thought, there will be a lot of communication, socializing, and there will be a lot of emotion, spirituality. This cradle pattern moves into, all of the planets will have moved into, as of today, the 4th degree of a sign. There are 30 degrees in a sign. The 4th degree is where all of these planets have moved, and they actually look like a little basket. So, because Jupiter is one of the planets, because Jupiter amplifies the effects of whatever planets it touches, we have a lot going on. So what is it going to amplify? Well, it is going to amplify Neptune, spirit, spirituality. It is going to amplify Pluto. Pluto is healing. Pluto is intense healing. Pluto is the intense truth. Pluto also deals with control issues. It deals with loyalty as well. So it's going to be quite something. Uranus is the planet of humanitarianism and a divine consciousness in human form. So Uranus gives us an opportunity to take care of each other as we take care of ourselves. Uranus is also genius and a little bit crazy, but if it's handled right, it's the kind of crazy you need. So what you can do is you can appreciate with Jupiter and Pluto, which rules, Jupiter rules your abundance, Pluto rules other people's abundance. You can begin to appreciate that abundance will be an issue, a thing. Good. So what you want is for yours to pay you off. So not learn to, but right now accept being generous with yourself and with others. Accepting giving yourself permission to have and to be what you were created to have and be, which is totally love and loved. A great exercise right now would be for you to take 4 things that you want. Let's take a look at how you could be more generous with yourself. That's Jupiter. How you could be more openly and demonstrably spiritual with yourself. That's Neptune. How you can be more at power with yourself and at ease with that power. That's Pluto. And how you can be a part of the collective, a contributing part of the collective. That's Uranus. And write out a sentence of, it's a request kind of what you want. And imagine that you are placing those in a basket. This configuration is very powerful, and the effects of it will last until August 15th. So every day when you get up, read your list. Or every night before you go to bed, read that list. And you'll begin to notice the shifts in your life. So that's what's happening today, what happened yesterday, what's happening today, and what will be happening tomorrow. It's definitely on a scale of 1 through 10, it's at 10 for those 3 days. The rest of the days, it'll be at 9.5. So the power is there. Work the power. On Wednesday, August 22nd, the sun leaves the sign of Cancer and enters the sign of Leo. Wow. Okay. Leos believe in living life to the fullest. If you are a Leo and you are not living life to the fullest, you are standing in the wrong line. Get out of that line and get back into the Leo line and start doing what your heart, Leo rules the heart, wants you to do. You are not here to polite yourself to death. You are not here to be rude or awful either, but you have to include yourself in everything that you ask for everyone else. So Leo rules the heart. It also rules drama and inflated egos. So you need to be careful about that, especially during this time that the sun is in the sign of Leo. And it'll be there for a whole month. So let's just be demonstrative. Let's be dramatic. Let's also be heartfelt. Let's care about and care for others as well as ourselves. And on Thursday, thank God, August 23rd, Mercury leaves its retrograde station and goes direct. That means we can rejoin life. We can stop having to tiptoe around. This has been a rather rough Mercury retrograde. Thank God we can handle things differently now. We can look at things and deal with things more directly. And we can allow ourselves to sign the papers we need to sign, to make the commitments we need to make, and to trust that the universe is not setting out a tripwire for us to trip over, fall down, and have to start again. So on Sunday, there are 2 things that will happen that are very important as well. There are things called the moon's nodes, the north node and the south node. And they're very important to our past lives and our past karma and our current life and our future life and current karma. They are going to change signs. Every 18 months, they change signs. So they're going to leave Pisces, Virgo, and they're going to go into Aquarius, Leo. So that means humanitarian issues, Aquarius, and personal issues, Leo. I and thou, you will be asked to, ask is a lovely word for it, your command will be to come from a heart-centered place that involves the Leo aspect about not only yourself, but about humanity as a whole. So it is about I and thou, but it is about bringing the I and the thou together so that we have the we, the humanitarian aspect of life. There will be a lot of issues with communication, a lot of issues with AI, with computers, and a lot of issues with just making your stand, not just taking a stand, but making your stand and showing up in the world for who and what you are. If you do not show up as who and what you are in a conscious way, the universe is going to unveil aspects of yourself that could be quite, I'd say, unsettling. So these wonderful positions that the North Node and South Node are going to move into are there for us. They can help us to move through and beyond what has limited us. Because Aquarius is, there's no limitation. Leo, this is what I want. This is my heart. Then there's no limitation. Find out what the script calls for and show up and play that part. That's Aquarius, Leo working together. The other aspect that's happening on Sunday is the sun, the life force, creativity, the life force opposition Pluto, truth, healing, control, power, and also respecting other people. This is all setting a very dramatic full moon energy. The full moon is on the 29th, so next week. However, what happens this coming Sunday will set the stage for what will be happening on the 29th. If you like your drama refined and serving everyone, great. If you like your drama really intense and somewhat negative, not so great for us, but definitely not so great for you either, because this is going to show a mirror to you. This upcoming Sun opposition Pluto and further upcoming full moon will show us a mirror. What are you? What have you committed yourselves to? What are you really saying is yours? What are you owning? What owns you? So this whole week is really about understanding that there's a basket that you can put things in, a container that is going to be able to gather the forces and the energies of what you want and don't want, and is going to make sure that you can have the things you want. If you don't consciously work on this generosity of spirit, it'll make sure that you have the things you don't want. Choose wisely. So on that note, I say bye. See you next week.